A new transfer student, a weak crybaby, came to our school. I, who always ranked first, felt pressured as she cried and sat at the same desk with me. Boo-hoo-hoo-hoo. I became the class monitor, and she cried again, thinking the class monitor would be strict with her. Boo-hoo. I was chosen to lead the dance group, and she cried once more. I tried so hard, but why couldn't I be as good as her? Boo-hoo-hoo-hoo. I got so annoyed that I yelled, "If you want to cry, don't cry in front of me." Annoying. Hearing that, she cried even louder and even knelt down in front of the whole class, begging me, "From now on, I promise I won't hinder you. Please don't bully me, ah-hoo-hoo-hoo." As a result, the whole class isolated me. Even Whisper, my close friend, and Ace, the school bully, pushed me down from the high building. Dare to bully Lily, go to hell. Even at this point, Lily was still sitting there crying for me. Why do you all have to sacrifice so much for me? Hoo-hoo-hoo. So touching. When I opened my eyes again, I was back on the day Lily had just transferred. Seeing her about to cry, I immediately slapped her hard across the face. Cry, cry, your mother's cry. Did your mom die or something that you're wailing like this? Hello everyone, I am Lily. Please guide me. When I opened my eyes, a familiar voice immediately rang out. Looking at Lily standing on the podium, gently greeting everyone, I knew I had been reborn. In my past life, Lily had arrived a few days late due to family matters, so she missed the crucial military training period for integrating into university life. When Lily transferred, it was already after the midterm exams. She arrived in a state of unfamiliarity, and her personality was timid and weak. Lily's eyes were often red-rimmed. Standing on the podium, before she could say a few words, her eyes welled up with tears. Hello everyone, I am Lily. Please guide me. Lily clumsily bowed, but accidentally bumped her head on the podium. Tears immediately streamed down, and she covered her head, stunned on the podium. The teacher, fearing that Lily wouldn't be able to integrate into the class, and even more afraid that she would be bullied, looked towards me and said, "Ivy, you are the class monitor. Let Lily sit with you." In my past life, my long likely surged, resolutely stepping forward, volunteering to shoulder the responsibility of helping Lily quickly integrate and adapt to life at school. At that time, I believed that my kindness could be exchanged for gratitude and build a bridge of friendship with her, but unexpectedly, it was the beginning of a nightmare in my life. Lily was very good at acting, especially playing the victim. Despite my help, she showed no gratitude and instead used her pitiful appearance to win over classmates, creating an image of me bullying her. Lily used her pitifulness to gradually alienate my close friends. Eventually, I lost the trust of everyone in the class and was also isolated by the whole class, while she still maintained an innocent and harmless face. I tried to explain, tried to regain trust, but everything seemed hopeless. My close friend Whisper scolded and cursed me harshly. His protection of Lily further solidified my crime of bullying. In the end, I completely lost my place in the class. Later, Whisper and Ace pushed me down from the high building, causing me to die in resentment. The pain from the bone-shattering fall hadn't faded yet. I bit my lip, watching Lily gently introduce herself. In my heart, I almost couldn't suppress my resentment. I closed my eyes, trying to calm down and extinguish the anger in my heart, then clenched my fists tightly. In my past life, because I was too kind, I created an opportunity for Lily to take advantage of. This life, I definitely won't be a saint and be harmed again. Lily, don't you like playing the victim to win sympathy? Didn't you say I bullied you? Okay, this time I'll let you know what real bullying is. Under the teacher's arrangement, Lily carried her school bag, her face full of fear, and walked towards me. She came to the seat next to me, put down her bag, but accidentally bumped her elbow into my pen case, causing the pens to scatter all over the floor. Looking at the pens on the floor, I frowned. Before I could say anything, Lily panicked, tears welling up in her eyes. I'm sorry, I didn't mean to. These pens must be expensive, right? My family doesn't have much money. If you need, I'll work part-time to pay you back. Please forgive me. As she spoke, she bent down to pick up the pens for me, her attitude very humble, occasionally even hiccuping. Outsiders would think I was bullying Lily. Looking at her fake, pitiful act, I smirked. Don't you like playing the victim? Is that it? I'll make you truly miserable. I said slowly, okay then. Compensate me. Having said that, I took out my phone and opened the payment code. Lily raised her head, not believing her eyes. According to her experience, when she pretended to be pitiful, others would usually sympathize and forgive her. Lily didn't expect that this time, someone would take her words seriously. I continued, I don't have many hobbies, but I just like collecting limited edition pens from various countries. Some of the pens in this pile are no longer in production. But because we are classmates, I'll give you a discount. A total of 150,000. Do you want to scan the code or cash? Hearing that number, Lily was so scared that she forgot to cry. She stood there blankly for a while before reacting. The tears she had just suppressed fell in large drops again. I don't have enough money right now, and these pens aren't broken. They can still be used, right? I glared at her. Lily added softly, and who knows if these pens are real or not? Who would buy such expensive pens? You're too much. I smiled sarcastically, then immediately opened my purchase history. Some are already out of stock, only invoices left. Not stopping there, I also opened posts collecting pens on the online marketplace. The 5-figure numbers almost made Lily faint. Fake pens? You can't afford to pay, so you start slandering me. Hoo-hoo. Lily wiped her tears, stammering, I didn't. Hearing that, I laughed coldly and slapped her in the face. Cry, your mother's cry. Did your mom die or something that you're wailing like this? Lily was stunned by my slap. I continued, who doesn't know would think a fairy is bullying a fox spirit? Pretending to be pitiful, acting like a delicate white flower? What nonsense. Clearly, you yourself said you would compensate me, but now you're crying nonstop? Am I forcing you? Or are you planning to renege? Lily covered her face, her cheek reddened by my slap. She swallowed her tears and said silently, I didn't. I was annoyed, not wanting to argue anymore. Annoyed, I said, are you a recording machine? Only know how to say these 2 sentences? This slap is considered compensation for the damage you caused. You got a bargain, so be happy. Lily stood there stiffly, wanting to say something, but when she opened her mouth, it pulled at the wound at the corner of her mouth, so she immediately shut her mouth. I ignored Lily. Seeing this, she had no choice but to sit down silently next to me and start cleaning up. Occasionally, she glanced at me with wary eyes. I could feel her fear, so I chuckled inwardly. Lily, your tricks are only effective on those with kindness. As for me, my heart is now colder than those who have been butchering fish for 10 years at a supermarket. Of course, this is just the beginning. The good show is yet to come. After school, the homeroom teacher texted me, Ivy, come to the office. Without guessing, I knew it must be Lily who had complained to the teacher. Sure enough, as soon as I entered the office, I saw Lily crying, tears streaming down her face. When she saw me enter, she glared at me with hateful eyes. The homeroom teacher looked at me seriously. Ivy, did you hit Lily in class today? Is there such a thing? I nodded. He looked at me with disappointment. Usually, you are a child who makes me feel at ease. Why would you do such a reckless thing? Quickly apologized to Lily. Looking at Lily sobbing beside me, I said to the teacher, we have resolved this matter privately. She damaged my pen, and I didn't make her compensate, but it's true that I was wrong to use violence. I apologize. The homeroom teacher paused for a moment, then asked Lily, is that so? Lily hesitated, unable to say a complete sentence. I stared at her. Finally, under our gazes, she whispered, It's like that, but... Seeing Lily's hesitant look, the teacher understood the situation. The homeroom teacher waved his hand. If you two have resolved it privately, I won't say much more. Ivy, remember not to hurt your classmates in the future. Otherwise, even if you are the daughter of the chairman of the university board, I will still scold you. I smiled brightly. Yes, teacher. I know. Leaving the office, Lily looked at me angrily. Just because you are the daughter of the chairman, you can do whatever you want? How can the matter of you hitting me be easily dismissed like this? Having said that, she started acting wronged again, tears welling up in her eyes. Don't think that just because you have power and influence, you can trample on other people's self-esteem. Let me tell you, I will never succumb to you. I rolled my eyes, looking at Lily's appearance of both pretending to be pitiful and putting on a righteous front, and felt disgusted to the extreme. If you need self-esteem, then quickly pay me back. In exchange, I will immediately apologize to you. She cried even louder, but also didn't know how to refute me. After all, Lily definitely couldn't bear to spend such a large sum of money to compensate me, and also didn't have the money. I lost patience, lifted my leg, and left. Talking to her at this time was completely wasting my time. I was about to turn around and leave this disgusting scene when I accidentally bumped into Dean, the school bully, who was walking over. Dean gently supported Lily, who was crying weakly beside him, and looked at me with dissatisfaction and anger. He questioned, Ivy, you're going too far. Bullying others should have limits, right? Don't you see how sad Lily is? Under Dean's protection, Lily cried even louder. Her pitiful and weak appearance, like a pear blossom in the rain, immediately aroused Dean's protective instincts. Dean used a stern tone to order, Aren't you going to apologize to Lily? What you did is really too much. Hearing this, a fire of anger couldn't help but burst out in my heart. I looked at him with boredom and coldly replied, What's it to you? Can you not act like you are the center of the universe? We are all adults. We must learn to take responsibility for our actions. If you like to defend her so much, then pay me for her. Dean frowned upon hearing this and asked in a deep voice, How much? I didn't hesitate at all and replied, 150,000. Do you want to transfer via WeChat or I'll pay? Your choice. Everyone knows that students don't have much money. 150,000 is also a considerable amount for Dean. Dean froze for a moment, looking at me for a long time without saying a word. Lily in his arms was full of hope, but she was bound to be disappointed. Even though he was the school bully, Dean could only pretend to be arrogant. He smirked awkwardly, then turned around, hugged Lily, and left. 150,000, he definitely couldn't take it out. Even if he had it, he would never spend that amount of money for Lily. Dean kept muttering a few curse words angrily, but was powerless. So, what if you have money? Can you do whatever you want with money? Really, Lily, we don't need to bother with this kind of unreasonable person. Those people only know how to use money to show off their superiority, but in fact, they have no talent. I couldn't help but laugh out loud. At first, I thought he must be very capable, but looking at Dean's angry but helpless appearance, I knew he was just SOSO. That night, I took some time to return home. Just as I opened the door, I saw my parents sitting on the sofa. Seeing me come back, my mother's eyes lit up a little. She wanted to say something, but when she saw my expression, she didn't speak. After a while, my mother finally couldn't hold back and spoke. Ivy, what's wrong with you today? I heard you hit a new transfer student. Why are you so impulsive? Dad also sat beside her, asking worriedly, I heard the homeroom teacher talk to you. Did someone bully you? Watching my parents hold my hands and keep talking, a pang of heartache surged in my heart. In my past life, I was isolated by my classmates, but I didn't want my parents to worry, so I didn't say anything. Dean and Whisper, just because they saw Lily pretending to be pushed down by me, pushed me down from the high building. I fell and shattered my bones, while Lily showed off her ankle that wasn't even swollen. Dean coldly said, Letting you die like this is too easy for you. I didn't expect Ivy to be so vicious. They fabricated my death as suicide because Dean understood me, so those people could easily forge my handwriting to write a suicide note. I confess that I bullied my classmate Lily, and I was restless day and night, so I decided to use my life to atone to Lily. They covered up the truth about my death. Afterwards, Lily told Dean that she used my painting to compete for a scholarship to protect her thesis. Dean didn't blame her at all, and even praised Lily for being smart. My parents heard the news and rushed to the university, but only saw a cold corpse. Overwhelmed by extreme pain, they fainted on the spot. When they woke up, their black hair had turned white. My parents couldn't accept the fact that they had to see their daughter off first, and didn't believe that I, a person who was always cheerful and optimistic, would commit suicide. They vowed to demand justice for me. Dean, at this time, pretended to be kind and ran over Uncle, Auntie. Actually, Ivy was always very sad. She blamed herself for bullying her classmate, so she committed suicide. My parents naturally didn't believe this. They went to the university to investigate, but after Lily used tricks to isolate me, my reputation in class was very bad. Even about my death, they just said, "The wicked get their just deserts." My parents were anxious because they couldn't find any evidence. The most ridiculous thing was that even though they were members of the university council, they couldn't find the surveillance camera footage from the day I died. However, Dean's words gave them a hint. After going through countless hardships, they finally found out the truth. They punished all the people who bullied me. After doing everything, my parents also passed away in pain. Until their last moments, they kept muttering, "Sorry, Ivy, it's Mom and Dad who didn't take good care of you." My parents blamed themselves for not being able to protect me. They always trusted and loved me, and it was me who implicated my parents, who had worked hard their whole lives to build a broad path for me, leaving in regret without enjoying a day of peace. If I had told them a little earlier, at most, I would have dropped out of school and it wouldn't have come to this. Now, looking at my healthy parents in front of me, I couldn't help but hug them and burst into tears. The past, the deep hatred like a sea of blood in my heart, my hatred for Lily had reached its peak. Seeing me cry, my parents panicked. "What's wrong, Ivy? Did anyone bully you at school? Tell Dad and Mom. Mom and Dad will get justice for you." I sobbed, swallowing the pain in my heart. "No, it's just, I miss you both so much." My parents hugged me, comforting me in their warm embrace. In their arms, I became even more determined for my revenge. In the classroom, Long, who hadn't spoken to me for a long time, suddenly approached and asked, "Uncle and Auntie, how is their health lately?" He was my friend from childhood. Since I had memory, his figure had never left my life. Our parents had deep feelings for each other, often asking about each other, so the relationship between me and Long gradually sprouted in those encounters. I began to develop a strange affection for Long, who always stood in front of me, protecting me from all harm. Seeing this, the adults happily set an engagement for us from childhood. But life is not like dreams. When Long grew up a little, his family went bankrupt, falling from the peak to the bottom overnight. Because of me, my parents helped Long's family a lot. Even when his family went bankrupt, they didn't have any ill will towards Long. Unfortunately, Long didn't remember our kindness at all. In my past life, when he pushed me down from the high building, that feeling of despair and fear was like a sharp knife piercing deep into my heart, still aching until now. Looking at Long standing in front of me with a calm expression, as if nothing had ever happened, I tried to suppress the disgust and hatred surging in my heart and used the coldest tone possible to reply, "What's the matter? Speak directly." In my memory, at this time in my past life, Lily had already started flirting with Long. So he definitely didn't just come to ask about me. Even so, I had to admit that Lily was very capable. In such a short time, she had found a man willing to be her dog. On one side was a rich young lady, a childhood friend, and on the other side was a poor and weak girl. Long chose Lily without hesitation. This was beyond my imagination. Seeing my cold attitude, Long frowned. Can I come to find you if there's nothing wrong? Ivy, what's wrong with you? Seeing that I didn't give in, he became impatient. He continued, but I also have something. Give me a scholarship for poor students from the university. You are the daughter of the chairman of the board. This is not difficult for you. Looking at his natural face, as if it was a matter of course, I really felt speechless. Long looked at me, sure that I would meet his request, because every time he asked me for something, it was with an attitude of extreme certainty and arrogance. I smiled faintly and said, our university's scholarships are always open and transparent, based on academic performance and family circumstances. Moreover, you're not so short of money. Isn't the living expenses that my family sends you every month still enough? Long's face darkened for a moment. After all, in the past, I always worried about his self-esteem, so I never refused any requests related to money. It was also this that helped him have enough money to cover up the truth about my death. Not for me, but for Lily. Her family is in difficulty and really needs this money. At this time, Lily appeared from nowhere, still with her teary-eyed appearance. I also have no choice, hoo. I just don't want to be too much of a burden on my family. Please, Ivy, I really need this money. I immediately pointed to the necklace around her neck. If I'm not mistaken, this is the latest series of channel necklaces, right? If you really don't have money, how could you afford such an expensive item? I smiled sarcastically. Don't tell me this necklace is fake? Looking at the craftsmanship, even if it's grade A, it would cost a lot. So where did you get the money to buy it? Lily panicked and clutched the necklace in front of her chest. Long immediately stood in front of her, blocking her. I gave it to her, so what? Ivy, why have you become so harsh and cold now? You've disappointed me too much. Lily stood aside, wiping her tears while Long frowned. If you continue like this, I will have to reconsider our engagement. I rolled my eyes and sneered. Go ahead. Long acted as if he didn't hear what I said, bent down to comfort Lily. It's okay, Lily. Ivy is a heartless person. Even if she doesn't agree, I will help you. Lily nodded gratefully while wiping her tears, imagining herself as Lin Dayu. Long, you are really too good to me. If you were my brother, that would be great. I always wish I had someone like you to protect me. Long stood there blankly, looking like an idiot. I didn't want to watch these two continue to act out this kneeling drama, so I immediately turned around and left. I called my dad and told him about Long not only defending Lily, but also colluding with her to deal with me, of course including the matter of Long wanting to help Lily apply for a poor student subsidy through back channels. My dad flew into a rage and immediately agreed to cancel our engagement and cut off all business relations with Long's family. I smiled after ending the call. I didn't know if Lily would still like Long when he was penniless. No, my dad acted very quickly. The cancellation of the engagement between the two families was immediately announced to Long's parents, and they also received news that my family had stopped supporting their family. At this time, Long's family's business was in the development stage. If they lost the support from my family, all their efforts would likely be in vain. Long's parents naturally didn't want to miss this good opportunity, let alone when they learned that it was caused by Lily, a useless green TB*TCH, who blocked their path to wealth. So Long's parents called and scolded Long, demanding him to apologize to me. After school, as I was carrying my books, preparing to go to dinner, Long and Lily came and blocked my way. Long looked quite agitated, his tone full of imposing manner. I heard you canceled the engagement. In his voice, there was also some reproach. You are already so old. Why are you still so childish? I calmly replied, so what? Long frowned, obviously dissatisfied with my answer. He stared at me, his face wrinkled, revealing impatience. You have to quickly explain to your parents. Tell them that it was just words spoken in anger. Just kidding. I looked at him coldly. I'm not kidding. Long looked at me, his serious expression suddenly softened, as if he had just thought of something. He suddenly laughed. Ivy, are you jealous because I've been close to Lily recently, right? But you have to understand that my fiancé will definitely be you. Lily and I are just friends. Lily also stepped forward, her tears, which were already brewing, now completely falling. Ivy, don't misunderstand. Long and I are just... I haven't had anyone care for me since I was little, and Long is so gentle, so I couldn't help but get a little closer to him. She wiped her tears, but you can rest assured, I only treat him as a brother. I will definitely not interfere in the relationship between you two. Seeing Lily cry, Long was extremely distressed. It's not your fault, Lily, it's Ivy who is overthinking. Lily, you are not wrong. You are very good. Long raised his hand and gently wiped away the tears from the corner of Lily's eyes. Lily pretended to be strong and nodded, her voice choked up. I understand. Thank you, Long. The two of them wanted to continue acting, but I was no longer in the mood to watch. I didn't want to look at these two pitiful fools anymore, so I decided to turn around with my books and leave. Seeing that I was about to leave, Long was a little anxious and wanted to reach out and pull me back. When his hand touched my shoulder, I couldn't help but subconsciously slap him hard in the face. Don't touch me. The skin where Long touched me seemed to be burned. The feeling of despair when being pushed from the high building in my past life rushed over, making me almost unable to breathe. Long touched his face, unable to believe it. You hit me. Lily was startled by my actions, tears falling again, and hurriedly comforted Long. Are you okay, Long? Long. Then she angrily scolded me. Do you have a violence problem? You hit me. Fine, but Long has nothing to do with this. You are too much. I was so disgusted that I was speechless. It took me a while to calm down. What's it to you? This is a matter between me and Long. Clearly, you know he and I have an engagement, but you still try to be a third party. Don't be greedy. Don't try to have it both ways. Since you did it, don't pretend to be innocent. My words were very harsh. Long hugged Lily in his arms, angrily pointing at me and saying, You are really hopeless. Since when did you learn such vulgar language? You are no different from those gossiping women in the market. Ivy, you are great. I declare that the engagement between us is officially cancelled. I also didn't show any politeness and decisively brushed aside Long's finger pointing at me. Who do you think you are to dare to talk to me like this? I looked at Long with disdain, word by word. You make me sick. Long, don't forget what your family's situation is now. Leaving my family, how long can you live peacefully? It seems someone needs to read more books. Otherwise, an empty head will not see anyone as important. And you two are really a perfect match. One acts and the other follows like a dog. Well then, just stay together for life. Later, if I meet you guys again, I will beat you up every time. I didn't want to waste any more time with them and immediately turned around and left. Long's good days quickly ended. His family lost the support from my family, and the entire capital chain was cut off, eventually having to declare bankruptcy again. Long, who had been arrogant since childhood, still refused to bow his head to me. And Lily's life was even more miserable. It's true that her family was very poor, but since entering university, she had clung to Long, so her life was never lacking in food and clothing, all the best things. Now, her quality of life plummeted, only left with the life of an ordinary student. As people say, it's easy to go from frugality to extravagance, but it's difficult to go from extravagance back to a simple life. What she once dreamed of, a leisurely and happy university life, now had no chance to realize. The homeroom teacher sent a message to the group. The scholarship list has been announced, and my name was naturally on it. Everyone swarmed to see the list and congratulated me in unison. Ivy, you are really good. These few scholarships are all taken by you. That's right, you need to have high scores in both comprehensive and specialized subjects to get it. And you are really too good. I modestly nodded in response. Then suddenly a harsh voice rang out. "What's so great about it? Isn't it just relying on connections?" I turned my head to look. Sure enough, it was Lily, a person who was always jealous. Seeing me, a hint of panic flashed in her eyes. Reflexively, she wanted to turn around and leave, but I blocked her way. If you don't have the ability, you can only slander others behind their backs. Our university's scholarships are all open, fair, and transparent. You must be in the top 3 in your major, or win prizes in provincial-level competitions, or be the one with the highest comprehensive and specialized scores. Which one did you achieve? Lily's face flushed red. She glared at me. Relying on connections, can't people even talk about it? Being the daughter of the chairman of the university board is so amazing. She glared at me, then mumbled softly, "If I had such connections, I would also get a scholarship." I chuckled. This was her true nature. I folded my arms, looked at Lily condescendingly, and smiled confidently. "That's right, I am amazing. What can you do to me?" Lily angrily stomped her feet, gritting her teeth and saying, "It's just a scholarship. What's so amazing about it?" "Wait and see. I'll get one for you to see." She angrily turned her head and left. I was curious, wondering what tricks she would use. After all, with her professional level, wanting to win a university scholarship was as difficult as climbing to the sky. My phone suddenly rang. It was a message from the homeroom teacher. He called me to the office to talk about my ink painting competition. As soon as I entered the office, I saw Lily also present. She glared at me hatefully. I glared back, then ignored her. The art teacher looked at me and said, "Ivy, your work this time is very outstanding. Winning first prize in this competition is not a problem. You go back to sign your name and send the work to the organizing committee. This time, the opportunity to defend your thesis will definitely belong to you." I smiled. My award is naturally thanks to your teaching, teacher. As soon as I finished speaking, Lily's gaze immediately stopped on me. She unscrupulously stared at my competition entry. When our eyes met, she slightly tilted her head to avoid them. I slightly curled my lips into a smile. Sure enough, she had taken the bait. In my past life, Lily was jealous of my thesis defense opportunity. She noticed my competition entry and secretly came to me, pretending to cry and complain. "Ivy, can you lend me your work to show off to my friends? Just to let them see it." Seeing that I didn't answer, she took my arm and pleaded, "You can rest assured, I will definitely not do anything else." It's all because I was too boastful and lied that I know how to paint ink paintings. But my family is too poor, so I don't have the conditions to learn. I just want to be recognized more. You will definitely help me with this, right? You can rest assured, I will return it to you immediately after showing it to them. Looking at her pitiful face, my heart softened and I agreed. I even repeatedly reminded her that she must return it before the submission deadline. At that time, Lily agreed very readily. But as the submission deadline approached, she still didn't return it to me. I called her, but she didn't answer. Until I saw my work appear on the university's honor roll with Lily's name signed in large letters on it, I was stunned. Lily also achieved her wish by using my work to win the thesis defense opportunity. I angrily went to find her and questioned her for plagiarism. Just as we were arguing, Long and Dean thought I was bullying her, and together they pushed me from the high building. The 3 of them together covered up the truth about my death. This feud I must repay. This life, I decided to set a trap, and sure enough, Lily took the bait. I deliberately left a similar painting in the art studio and sent my real work to the organizing committee early. This life, Lily and I had fallen out. Lily knew I wouldn't lend her my painting again, so she no longer had the face to beg me. I installed a hidden camera in the art studio, and that night, I saw the sneaky figure of someone approaching the painting, then taking it away. Lily, looking at the painting, murmured to herself, "Ivy, everything of yours must be mine. This painting must also be mine." Sure enough, After plagiarizing the painting, Lily avoided me for a long time, probably because she was afraid that I would suspect her. When the competition results were announced, my friend happily pulled my arm. "Ivy, your work is so outstanding, you will definitely be on the thesis defense list." I smiled lightly, glancing at Lily, who was full of anger, and intentionally said, "I'm really looking forward to it. If I get to defend my thesis, I can take a break for a while." Lily heard my voice and immediately turned her head, glaring. "It's not certain that your name will be there." "What are you happy about?" I retorted. "If I don't get an award, will you get one?" I deliberately pretended to be surprised. "Lily, you also study ink painting? How long have you been learning? How old did you start learning?" Just then, Long walked out from the side. "Don't think that only you can win awards. There are many talented people." Lily smiled smugly. "Wait and see." When the website announced the list of winners, I indeed saw my name, but from beginning to end, I didn't see Lily's name. She couldn't believe it, reading the list over and over again, but still couldn't find her name. She angrily looked at me. "Ivy, did you play tricks?" I laughed coldly. "What tricks can I play?" Lily muttered, "Impossible, the winner should be me." She seemed to suddenly think of something and unexpectedly went crazy, grabbing my shoulders. "Did you do something? Did you plagiarize my work?" I laughed coldly, forcefully pushed her away, took out my phone, opened the surveillance video, and stood up for everyone to see. In the video, everyone could clearly see Lily sneaking to my work, taking a poorly drawn painting to replace it, and then secretly taking away the real work. Lily panicked, trying to rush over to snatch my phone, but how could I let her achieve her goal? Everyone around began to discuss and criticize Lily. She resorted to her old tricks again, crying in front of everyone and wanting to escape into Long's arms, but Long took a step back, avoiding her. Lily looked at Long disappointedly, while Long stammered, not daring to say anything. After all, he had just received a message that if he continued to side with Lily against me, Long's parents would not give him living expenses anymore. Seeing that no one paid attention to her, Lily screamed, then covered her head and ran away. I immediately handed the evidence to the Academic Affairs Office. The Academic Affairs Office always dealt strictly with cases of plagiarism and theft, so they immediately announced Lily's expulsion. After Lily was expelled, Long came to me to make amends. Recently, he had gotten tired of Lily and didn't want to continue living that poor life anymore, so he finally remembered me. Long knelt in front of my house door, refusing to get up, apologizing. "Ivy, before, it was because I was bewitched by Lily. I didn't know she was such a bad person. She kept bad-mouthing you. If it weren't for that, I wouldn't have said those unpleasant words about you. Please forgive me." Having said that, he even shed tears. "In the future, I will definitely treat you well, Ivy. Please give me another chance." I didn't care, turned around, and was about to close the door. Just then, Lily rushed out from somewhere and yelled, "How dare you treat me like this? Now I have nothing left. If you dare to abandon me, don't blame me for dragging you down to hell with me." Long immediately kicked Lily, knocking her to the ground. "UB*TCH. You also know that you have nothing left, and you still come here to harm me? It's all because of you that I ended up like this. If it weren't for you, I would have gotten Ivy already." Hearing Long say this, Lily's eyes turned bloodshot. She pulled out a knife from somewhere and stabbed it straight into Long's abdomen. Blood gushed out, but she was still not relieved and stabbed a few more times. Long lay on the ground, his eyes wide open, looking at Lily, then gradually losing his life. Lily looked at the bloodstains on her hands, panicked, and fainted. Looking at the chaotic scene in front of me, I called the police. Long died on the spot due to excessive blood loss, while Lily was sent to prison. Although Long's family had declined, a lean camel is still bigger than a horse. Losing their only son, Long's parents used all their connections to make Lily pay the price for life in prison. Dean wanted to avenge Lily, so he went to Long's house to cause trouble. but Long's parents regarded him as an accomplice. They couldn't vent their anger directly on Lily, so they could only take action against Dean. One night, when Dean came to cause trouble again, Long's parents hired people to beat him unconscious, then took him to a high building and threw him down. Afterwards, they staged it as a suicide. Seeing Dean die in exactly the same way I died in my past life, I couldn't help but find it funny. In the end, the way of heaven always has reincarnation. You reap what you sow. The grievances in the past were resolved here. Those who harmed me in my past life now all have bad endings. And I finally had time to complete the studies I had abandoned. After graduation, I took over my family's company. In my past life, I owed my parents too much, so in this life, I will be with them and take good care of them.